guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to do something a little different. I don't cover true crime typically on my channel, but this case really has all of my attention right now, and I want to talk about Mica Miller and her very, very, in my opinion, dangerous husband, John Paul Miller. This case is getting a whole lot of attention, so I figured that I would go ahead and do a video. We can have a discussion. I really want to know how y'all feel about this as well, as always. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright, you guys, so this video is going to be discussing alleged unalivings, and I know that that is upsetting for some people, so if you're not in a place to consume this content, then please check out another video. But I'm gonna try to keep things kind of as surface as possible while still bringing attention to this situation. So I want to read the article, then I'll get into some little videos and photos that have been going around, including him announcing that she had passed in front of his entire congregation in a very cold-hearted and not emotional manner. So we're going to get into all of it. But it says here, Mica Miller, 30, was found to have suffered a fatal wound to the head at Lumbar River State Park in Lumberton, North Carolina. According to the local newspaper, Miller's husband, John Paul Miller, is the pastor at Solid Rock Church in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, who broke the news of her passing during a recent service after asking his congregation to not discuss it inside the church. He said, "I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. It was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina," he said. "Y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. You all knew she wasn't well mentally and needed medicine that was hard to get to her. I'm sure there will be more details to come, but please keep her family in your prayers." Friends of the pastor's late second wife were taken aback over her passing and urged officials to look into it deeply. This has to be at least looked into deeply. There's got to be some accountability here, Ken Young told WPDE, because yeah, a tragic life was lost, but it's also not as simple as mental health issues. She had struggled with suicide before. Each time we would help her through it and take her to the doctor, and we got through it and everything was fine. She even gave a few testimonies here at church we have on video, John Paul said. She battled suicide, but God took care of her and got her through it. Was it God, or was it the, modern medicine that we have, and, doctors and mental health professionals and the love and support of her friends and family? I understand that God can be a part of that, but, let's also recognize that it's a very layered and complex situation when we're dealing with people that are not mentally well. She filed for divorce from her husband in October of 2023. Her family is seeking justice as they claim a no-contact order and divorce was filed just days before her death. "We are devastated. Prayers are appreciated." So now I want to share him announcing this during his during the video that's going around of him saying this is what happened.
We're not going to do an altar call today. Instead, I'm going to have you stand up, and I'm going to make an announcement. And after the announcement, I'm going to ask that you leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can, so y'all can stand to your feet. Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next little bit, because I don't want to have. I'm taking a little bit of a break, and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks, I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away, and yeah, it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina, and we're gonna have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can. Yeah, I'm just kind of.
Now I understand that everybody deals with this kind of stuff differently. Some people cry a lot. Some people cry behind closed doors, but not when they're speaking to people face to face. Like, but for me, it still came off as very cold and almost callous. Like, it was just him announcing as if he was going on a vacation. Now, he also says that he doesn't know how long he's going to be on a break. In my opinion, I think his break is going to be very, very long because things are not looking good for this pastor.
Everybody, I just want to let you know that I'm alive and well, and life's been kind of crazy the couple past weeks, months, years, but I've kind of had to keep my circle really small for the past couple weeks just because I'm going through a lot and it's hard and it's my cross to bear. It's the thing that God has put in my life to deal with, and I don't want to bring a lot of people into it. I'm so thankful to God for a strong family and the friends that God has put in my life to be there for me at this time. I just wanted to share that my heart and my prayer is that the church would stay strong, that y'all would stick together, because the church is God's people. It's not a man, it's not a person, it's not me, it's God's people, the bride of Christ. And there's a lot of really good people in the church that that I just hope would continue on, press toward the calling, run your race, stay encouraged, stay in your word, keep worshiping. Like I can't wait to worship again with everybody, but for now I'm just worshiping with me and Jesus to God. And I don't think God would be pleased with me if I just jumped right into missions and women's events and creative directing and worship leading and stuff. I think when your world is shook up, you need to take a pause. And I can only pray that more people will take a pause and I'm trying to get my priorities straight right now. And that's making sure that my heart doesn't have any unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, just forgiveness and hope for the future and peace. Because you can't put a price on peace from God. So thank you for all your prayers and support. Know that I have to keep my circle really, really small right now. I'm used to having a really big circle, so it's hard because I want to reach out to everybody and tell you how much I love you and I miss you. But this is the best way that I know how. So I love you all. I miss you. Thank you for your love and support over the last couple years. And some of you, up to 18 years walking with me as my friends. And for right now, I've just had to put everything on pause to get myself right. And I think God's happy with that. So keep praying for me. Thank you.
I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me lately and reminded me, because I think I forgot. I knew, but I pushed it in the back of my head just because of my situation. But you are the bride of Christ. Before anybody else's bride, male or female, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you. Jesus took it all for you. So you don't have to stay in a abusive relationship. God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that?
I'm going to include a couple of videos that she was sharing before her very untimely passing. She sounds very broken to me. She sounds very, almost as if she's feeling very defeated. Watching some of her videos made me extremely emotional, to be honest. And you can just tell that this is somebody who is exhausted. Aside from him making that very strange announcement and the videos that she was sharing that are circulating now, he was also spotted drinking martinis and having dinner with his alleged mistress. That was just in the last couple of days. Like I said, I understand that people deal with grief and all of the things a little differently, but all of the things that he has been doing make him look like a very guilty party. There have been sermons that he's delivered where he comes off as very misogynistic, very, I don't know, like, I think a lot of y'all know how I kind of feel about pastors, and especially hypocritical pastors. There are so many monsters that are in leadership at churches. And I don't want to blanket statement that and say every single person who works at a church is bad. But unfortunately, there are a lot of monsters, and they get involved with churches and putting on this persona of being God-fearing and all glory to God and all of the things, when they are doing some of the most egregious and disgusting things when they think nobody is looking. And that's why I have a sour stance when it comes to when these things are exposed. It's like I'm not even necessarily surprised by it anymore. I'm saddened, especially with stories like this. But unfortunately, the shock factor is not what it used to be for me. I want to watch one more of these videos where it's showing him speaking to his congregation. I thought this video was also very interesting, kind of telling as far as if he's saying this at church, what is he saying to his own wife? So let's let that play, and then I will give some final thoughts. Of course, I'm going to continue to cover this. I will do an update because this is a case that I'm really interested in. And, you know, like I said, I don't usually do true crime on my channel, but once in a while there's a case that comes along that is just extremely interesting to me, and I think this is one of them. And I think that you know, with the amount of coverage that it's getting, I do hope that it allows for justice to be served.
The right words are not, you hurt me, you hurt me, you hurt me, you hurt. That's not the right words. Like, be more mature than that. I think this verse is for the ladies. Because I've never had a man come to me and say, you know, so-and-so hurt my feelings, I just need to tell you all about it. No man's ever done that. I mean, can I tell you everything you did? No man's ever done that. Men, we either just don't talk about it, or we punch you in the face, and then we're friends afterward. Last year, you know, my wife, they went to Africa, had a wonderful trip, amazing trip, and she came back with the idea to start a school in Africa. And 6 weeks ago, she goes in the hospital, gets out, and just leaves. Just completely leaves me, leaves everything, drains the bank account, and goes. Guess what? While you're talking bad about me out there, I'm building a school in Africa for over 100 kids to be able to be fed. I'm just doing that. It's always about what I'm preaching about. God is so good to do that every single time. One day I'm going to preach about getting rich, strong, healthy, and finding a hot wife that loves Jesus. That's what I'm going to do. Weird. There's a really weird idea that a lot of women have. It's so weird that women have this. Christian women think, well, I need somebody to talk to about these people that hurt me. I need somebody to talk to. Oh, you just want to talk about somebody else. That's a demon, actually, right there. When my wife went in the hospital, you know, I looked at her phone, and I counted over the past 2 years, 18 people who had texted her and said, if you ever want to talk about your husband, you can talk to me and say anything, and I'll keep it confidential. Well, if you could go back in time, you would have said this. Or if I see them again, I'm going to say that.
I don't understand. A lot of these things that pastors and preachers say, I see these videos and I'm like, why are people just sitting there listening to this? And the really crazy thing is they're sitting there listening and they're believing it, and they're applying these ideas and these philosophies to their own lives. And that is so scary. None of this is normal. Saying that you know, if you need to talk to somebody about troubles that you're having in your relationship or your marriage, like, that's a demon. I mean, what kind of, like, I just don't understand. Like, I would never follow the trail of what these pastors are putting down. I think that it's very alarming. You know, she was so young, and obviously she was a very beautiful woman. She was only 30 years old. You know, I can't imagine what the last few years had been like for her, seeing that we are watching this be the way that her story ends. It just makes me really sad. I want to read her obituary, and then I will close this video out. It says, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Mica Miller, 30, of Myrtle Beach, passed away on Saturday, April 27th, 2024. She was born March 7th, 1994. She literally just turned 30. A daughter of Michael Francis and Angelita Ramirez. She is survived by her husband, Pastor John Paul Miller of Myrtle Beach, stepchildren Logan, Zachary, Eli, Asher, and Selah. one brother, Nate Francis, and his wife, Victoria, 4 sisters, Anna Francis, Sierra Brown, and husband, Matt, Abby Francis, and Destiny Barrientos, and husband Nicholas. Mica was energetic, affirming, adventurous, faithful, loving, giving, forgiving, talented, joyous, creative, assertive, bold, determined, authoritative, passionate, hardworking, a risk taker, and so much more. She and JP have been friends since 2009, married in 2017, and spent almost every single day and night together. Mica loved her little dog Loki. She loved doing outdoor activities like waterfall rappelling, hiking, skydiving, running, and going to the beach. Mica would take on any challenge, even if it was being a vegan for an entire year. Mica was a great stepmother and an amazing wife and helpmate. She helped Pastor JP with the church in every way. Mica was the worship leader, graphics designer, youth leader, and women's ministry leader, and the pastor's assistant. And she did all this with the utmost integrity and faithfulness. Mica made the greatest of efforts to always be the best wife she could be. She truly served Jesus and her husband with all of her heart. She would praise her husband after every church service, telling him he was the best preacher in the world, even if it wasn't true. She also told him that he was the funniest preacher in the entire world, even if it wasn't true either. Mica loved her family so much. She looked forward to every text from her father or brother. She sought every opportunity to pour into her sisters. There were thousands of nights where she would pray out loud for God to always bless and take care of her family. They were constantly on her mind. Mica wanted more than anything for each member of her family to serve Jesus continually. Mica loved her ice bath, nice car, sauna, house, etc. But more than anything on earth was her desire to see people come to Jesus. The most interesting thing that I pulled from that obituary is that it says that she and John Paul had been friends since 2009. That would make her 15 years old. So, in my opinion, allegedly, was this entire relationship built off of grooming? Because being 15, and if she's only been with him, imagine all of the brainwashing that could have allegedly been happening. Just food for thought. Wanted to drop it in the end here. But nevertheless, yeah, I will have an update coming soon. But for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.